You can see how this has played out, can't you? It doesn't look good. Anything like this doesn't necessarily play out well, particularly in royal circles. And also when you're dealing with the likes of, well, two disgruntled ex-royals in the shape of Prince Harry and the cable TV actress Meghan Markle, you can see why their team, their people perhaps, might want to capitalise on it. But where are we now with this particular new drama? As ever, let me explain. Well, the thing about that is, somebody will have a wave, sorry. The thing about this is, whenever you've moved, and we've all done it, haven't we? It's never a nice experience because it's a lot of hard work. I think people forget that. Packing up, deciding whether you want to keep certain things, moving to a new place, realising that you don't have certain things, and you've got to spend more money. It's even worse, isn't it? But of course, that's really what happened to Harry and Meghan, simply because they decided they didn't want to be full-time working royals, they just wanted a half experience. And, you know, the house came with the job. And simple as that. You know, a wonderful house. It's not a cottage. They call it Frogmore Cottage. If that's a cottage, well, I'll be very happy with it. You know what I'm saying? It's a big, spacious place, even though apparently Oprah Winfrey couldn't believe that these two were struggling to live in such a wonderful place with all the security and privacy afforded to them. And it was interesting as well how Harry and Meghan then later stated that they were looking to bring their two children up in such a wonderful private surroundings. Well, as I say, the job and the house go together. You don't want the job, you don't get the house. You see how this works. Interesting though this now, because obviously 7-8 months now coming up down the line, while they were asked to vacate Frogmore Cottage, there's a lot of backlash. And again, I do feel sorry for His Majesty the King. See, his initial idea was to ask his younger brother, the Duke of York, to move into Frogmore Cottage. He's dug his heels in, saying he's got a lease, and you know, he agreed all of this with our late monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, and he's not shifting. It's very tricky, isn't it? What do you do after that? But now I've been told that literally they want to know, that is the twosome of course, over in America, why they can't re-rent it back. Yes, this is escalating, let me tell you. Now, as you know, Harry desperately wants some kind of base over here in London, and what was offered was occasional rooms with advance warning in Buckingham Palace. You see how this works. But that wasn't good enough for Harry, certainly wasn't good enough for Meghan Markle, because even if they gave the house, the security wouldn't be afforded either. You see how this works. Now, what's interesting here is this. It's the simple fact that people actually don't necessarily care whether Harry or Meghan come back. But it does paint a very bad picture, nonetheless, for His Majesty the King and the royal courtiers. They keep citing the fact that Harry and Meghan paid for extensive refurbishment. Yes, but actually when you look where the money actually came from, one might suspect not necessarily out of Meghan or Harry's purse. You see how this works. Moving forward, the Duke of York says he's going nowhere. That remains to be seen whether, of course, the Prince and Princess of Wales would either like to take that particular house on, or indeed push forward to move into Royal Lodge. According to a very well-placed source, the Prince of Wales would be very keen to consider Royal Lodge as a new permanency. But the bottom line is, right now, Harry and Meghan are pushing back and basically saying, what was the rush? And could we re-rent? And more importantly, should I say, can Prince Harry re-rent? I still don't foresee Meghan Markle returning under any circumstances. What do you think to this new particular debacle that's hanging around the royal household? Neil Sean, Parliament, London.